Hello and welcome to another episode of the Musicians Talk Show podcast. It's episode 95. I'm one of your three co-hosts for the day, Dallas DeWhite.
And I'm Matt Tolley. And today we have...
David Dalton Jr., what's up?
Hell yeah. So drummer from Prep and Barium.
That's right.
Good friend, race car driver, fucking all around badass. So welcome to the show, David. I've been wanting to do this for a long time because obviously we talk music all the fucking time. And that's me and Dallas, why we decided to do this is because we're always talking about music and we figure we'll bring other people into that world and also share what we learn, share what we're into, you know, maybe open to people's eyes, spread music. So that's all this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're here.
Awesome, man.
What's up?
Not much. Let's do a quick little weekend review. It seems like it's a pretty uneventful weekend.
Yeah. Christmas parties and kind of doing the festivities and stuff like that. It was fun though. Spending some time with our friends and family.
Yep. No Christmas party for me.
No Christmas party.
Nothing for me, really.
Are you going to do any Christmas partying with your family at all? You going back? Because after this episode, it's going to be Christmas and then we're going to come back. So
this episode comes out on the 23rd.
Right. So what is your plan for Christmas, brother?
Going home to Columbia.
Cool.
To hang out with my family for the day.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm
coming right back.
I'm not in Columbia, but that's exactly
right.
what I'm doing. I'm doing the family hangout. And you probably spend the night there in their spare bedroom. And, it's fun.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be spending the night, but I'll be heading down, hanging out.
It's so long a drive for me. How long does it take you to get to Columbia?
Like an hour.
Okay, yeah. That's about the same.
Maybe.
It's literally, I'm going north an hour, you're going south an hour.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
funny. Wait, so you're Mooresville, right?
No, they're in Statesville, so a little bit
Is
above
Statesville the one that's further?
Yeah, farther.
Okay, got it. I always, whatever I think it is, it's the opposite. And then when I think that, it's the opposite again somehow.
I like going home to Statesville, especially now living in Charlotte. I notice a big difference in how, I was just telling David about this the other day, actually. I noticed a big difference in how I live my life and how it's kind of changed me a little bit. In the city, I'm a lot more, like I brush people off, I'm colder. And then you go home to, like in the country, you know, we're basically in Statesville, it's people are all nice, everybody knows each other. And like, it's such a weird transition, but I do like it.
We saw, we were scrolling through Hulu or whatever. Jordan loves to watch murder shows.
Oh yeah.
And she found one that was titled Homicide City, Charlotte. And she was like, I don't think I'm going to watch that one.
I don't need to, I want to sleep tonight.
It's probably just a bunch of pictures of the street Matt lives on.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's Matt's apartment. Hey, there's Matt.
Oh shit, that's Matt. Yeah, there's a guy with a knife right behind you.
I had no idea they were filming a documentary on me. It's so
just Matt getting out of a hearse.
They're just like, there's people out here driving hearses around.
Yeah, there's some weird freaks driving hearses.
Yep, that's me.
Anyway, you don't want to live there.
There's places you don't want to go.
But it's not like it was a series with a different city in each one. It was just Charlotte. It was just one for Charlotte.
Series on Charlotte murderers.
Homicides.
Yeah, perfect.
Which I don't think Charlotte has a particularly high.
I don't think so either.
But I also don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have gangs here or anything like that. There's not a lot of that kind of thing going on. I think there might be a gang here, but I don't think it's like a rampant issue.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean city. I like that.
One of my students' dads works in the gang unit.
What?
Like fighting against gangs and stuff.
Where is that at?
He works in Columbia.
Oh shit! So South Carolina.
He's a big fucking guy.
Oh yeah. Well, he'd be a good guy to do that.
He's like struggles to walk through a door. Like he's just a large human being.
Crazy.
He's not who I'd want to like tackle me to the ground and be like,
yeah, he'd crush you,
boy.
Crazy.
Anyway, David, what about you for Christmas?
Well, all my family's in New Jersey, so it's around a 8.5, 9-hour drive up there. I probably won't even have much time off of work to do, like go up there and I guess enjoy. So
yeah,
I honestly don't even know what I'm doing this year.
You should come hang out with my family. I think Kyle's gonna come hang out too and do dinner. So it'll be a good hang.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, I think I get one day off for Christmas too. That kind of sucks because you don't even get
Christmas Eve. That's kind of funny.
I might get off early on Christmas Eve, I'm pretty sure, but I'll have to go in.
Most places close early. So I do the church gigs. So like I literally have an extra work day, which is Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
So usually I don't have a work day in the middle of the week like that.
But when you do special projects like that, that's where you end up doing.
Yeah, so I'm running the 5 p.m. service.
Well, that's cool though, man. That's always fun to watch that kind of stuff come together, right? Like
the Christmas Eve services are always super fun. They're always really lax. We usually do like an acoustic thing. We're in the sanctuary instead of the gym where we usually are, so it's fun.
Nice.
It's change of pace. It's always really easy. It's always freaking packed.
Yeah. That's just the thing. Those Christmas services.
700-800 people.
Yeah. Is it all like you have to register to get in or something, or is it? No, okay. So it's just wide open still?
Yeah.
Good. It must be a big church.
Decently big.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. So that wraps up our intense weekend review.
Oh, intense. It was so intense.
We need a little soundbite for weekend review in the future.
Maybe. We do.
So check this out. You know what I found out?
What?
I don't know if you knew this because you listen to podcasts a lot too, but you
Yeah.
can set them now and make chapters. So people can just skip through to what they want to hear.
Nice. So you
We
get
should do some
topics.
research on figuring out how to do that. And one of the podcasts I listen to, they play a soundbite for each segment.
Yeah.
So when you skip to it, it just skips to the soundbite.
Right, to the
So you'll
soundbite.
hear like weekend review.
Right, so-
and then you hear us talk about the weekend. And then the next chapter starts at news
That's
or you
cool.
know, whatever.
That's cool. Sometimes we don't do that many
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of structure.
right. So we just kind of talk a lot like about things that are on our mind, and we'll make
Yeah.
a whole episode about this or that. But for episodes that we do jump around, that's a great idea.
You can still make chapters without the clips, I think.
Oh, that's true. So even
I
if
think
it's-
so.
Yeah. Huh. That's cool.
I'm not really sure how it works, but we could easily figure that out.
Yeah. Let's look into it. We're doing big changes for 2020. I
That
can't
could be
wait
cool
to.
if someone was like, you know, if we were going real hard on guitar gear and someone like David, who's a drummer's listening, he don't give a
Right.
shit probably.
Exactly.
Skip
Exactly.
that. You know, I'll go to the next chapter where they talk about business or whatever, you know.
I agree, and I think there's probably a lot of that. Like, there's people looking for certain things, and maybe one episode has that, but it's in the very
Well,
end.
any podcast is like that because they're so long. Like,
Sure.
Like Rogan, I love his podcast, but he has a ton of guests on that I don't care anything about.
Right.
Like,
Well,
I skip all the fighting ones. I skip all the like really sciencey ones.
yeah,
Like if they're like,
those are interesting sometimes.
well, if
though,
they
man.
just like talk about the keto diet for 3 hours, like I don't care that much. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I got it. Eat more
Exactly.
fat. Like done. Like I don't need to hear like every fucking thing about this, like from doctors. You know,
Exactly. That
doctors
is-
with no personality. To
But
boot.
I do
Like,
find that genuinely when I put on any Joe Rogan, even if I don't know who the person is, don't know what it's going to be about, like they're always interesting. And the reason is because we were just saying they're kind of all over the place. They're not like one topic
Yeah.
centric. But if there is a guy on there that's a specialist in this, it does get a little wordy in that area. But
there's there's been definitely a bunch that I've just gotten 30, 40 minutes into and been like, I can't listen to 3 hours.
well,
of this. I'm
he's-
done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. And then you got what you got out of it,
Yeah.
There, and you notice who I always notice that like what Joe's interested in kind of and how interested in it is he is, or how good of a friend this person is by how long the episode is, because you'll
Right.
see him, one of them will be an hour and 45 minutes long, and the other one, 3 hours,
sure,
one will
like
be
Bernie
5
Sanders,
hours.
I think was like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Who did the longest one? I think it was all the comedian boys.
When they did episode 1,000, it was I want to say it was Bert, Tom, and Joey.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
and
it
it was
might have
like-
been Bert, or it might have been Tom.
it wasn't like 5
Joey.
or 6 hours.
No, it was like 4 though. I think
Oh, okay. But that's still a big
it might have
episode.
been like 358. Something.
Still
right
cool,
around
man.
4.
They're just having fun in there. They have no topics to
Yeah.
worry about. They're just,
I like those. I don't mind those.
I
at
like
all.
those too. Yeah, because
It's
they're
the
just
ones
fun.
that are too specific on a topic I don't care about.
Exactly.
That's the ones that I skip.
Exactly. And that makes sense.
I'm fine if it's just him sitting down with someone talking.
That's the
Like,
reason he split the fighting podcast up too, because
Yeah.
he was like, man, a lot of people don't want to know about the fighting; they just want the podcast.
Yeah, but every episode he brings up fighting somehow.
Sure,
every
but
single one.
That's big part of his life. But I don't mind hearing it. And I like hearing it in relation to what other things he's doing. How
Mm-hmm.
it works in with it. With all of it.
Here's what makes me laugh and blows my mind. Every fighter he talks about is somehow the greatest fighter that's ever lived.
Oh Lord.
Well, it's always changing. It's always changing.
The greatest heavyweight fucking
Pound
weight
for
that ever
pound,
lived.
the greatest
Yeah.
heavyweight. Pound for pound. We're talking pound for pound here.
And he'll say it the next week about someone else. Like
Not making fun of Joe Rogan. at all,
no one on
but
the
I love,
planet hits
I
harder
love
than that guy. The next week, no one on the planet kicks harder than this guy. It's just like,
this
dude,
guy right here's got the best kick.
they all can't be the best. Like, and also I've never heard of any of them ever. Like,
Yeah,
so
well,
they can't be the best. 'Cause
He's,
I've
in
never
that,
heard
he's
of them.
so deep in that world. It's like us talking to guitar players or about guitar players.
Yeah.
And we're like, he's the best. He's the fucking
Right.
best. It's the same idea. He's just so deep into it that
Right.
he's attached to it.
I think at some point though, to be the best ever of all time, you have to be like Jesus. Everyone's heard of him. Everyone knows Slash.
right.
Whether you want to
John
say
Jones,
he's the
I
best
think.
technical player or not, everyone in the world knows who he is.
I think in fighting,
So, you know what I
maybe
mean?
Conor McGregor, John
That's
Jones.
that's the one that comes to mind. Like someone who doesn't fight
Floyd
needs to know who this guy
Mayweather.
is.
Yeah, those
for sure.
fighters.
I had to unfollow him on Instagram, dude. He's so fucking pompous.
He is very pumped.
Literally, he's just
Yeah.
taking pictures of like
Spencer-
$100 bills on his. I'm just like, I can't follow this guy. He's an idiot.
Spencer sends me pictures of him all the time, his posts or whatever, and just laughing hysterically.
It's
This is
so
it's
fucking
ballsy.
stupid.
Same thing as McGregor does the same thing. He's got that suit with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pinstripes
I
that say
unfollowed him,
"fuck
too.
you."
Isn't he
Got
like 5'8" or
tiny,
something?
Tiny
Isn't he
little
tiny?
letters, "fuck you" in pinstripes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That's so crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Isn't he like really short? He seems
Yeah,
really
yeah,
short.
yeah. He's,
Like
he's a
5'6" or
lightweight, right,
something.
or a light.
That's so
I think he's
funny to me.
lightweight.
I love that meme where he's
Welterweight, middleweight.
Drake's holding the flag and he's doing like that stupid like pose.
The
and it
Irishman,
says
the
and it
Irish
says
fighter, yeah.
it says my mom when I was a kid like wouldn't get out of the shower basically like
Right.
when you're being bratty and you
Right.
don't want to dry off. It's so perfectly
That's
summed that
funny.
up. Let me see if I can find that.
The reason those people are so pompous and so, I don't know, arrogant and confident is because they're putting on a show for the other fighters. You got to remember, this is an intimidation game, you know?
Look at this stuff.
Yeah, I knew this. Totally.
Look at that pose.
Yep,
He literally looks like a 6-year-old.
Yeah. That was such a weird moment. I remember I was like, why is Drake there? Why?
Yeah.
With
So
the
weird.
Irish flag.
Right. It was so weird.
Oh, dude.
It did seem like that, though. Like, come here, I'll dry you off.
Yeah. Get in here. We're going to dry you off now.
No.
You'll never take me.
You'll never get me.
Yeah. So have you seen the new Star Wars?
No, Kyle did, though. Him and Jamie went. I didn't even ask him about
David,
that.
you?
I forgot. David, have you seen it? Just
No.
came out yesterday.
Unfortunately, the way we're positioned, my back is to David if I'm going to talk in my mic, which I have to do. So I can't.
It's a little weird.
I don't get to see him.
It's perfectly
We'll get you a
fine.
mirror.
Yeah, I need one of those mirrors.
No, but like, I haven't really gotten into Star Wars. I was getting into it with a ex-girlfriend, but
So what have you seen? Would you say the old ones, the new ones?
There we go.
I only.
That's nice.
So
Damn it, though.
I saw the first
working.
one, and I saw.
Wait, when you say
15
first one, what do you mean? It's one of the few series you have to
episode one.
I
describe.
don't know.
Yeah, you have to specify. Was it the old ones that looked like old, or was it?
Yeah, like back in the-
so the
the-
So
original,
1977,
early
you saw
80s.
episode 4, A New
right?
Hope,
Episode 4,
which was the
Or
first
was it
one
the
made.
70s or 80s it first came out?
70s.
77.
70s.
Then it was
77,
the first
80,
one in the 70s, and I
Yes.
saw 15 minutes of the third one, not knowing it wasn't the second one, so I
Right.
stopped that one.
Right.
And
So,
then
yeah.
watched the
that
second
happens
one.
to everybody, I think. I started watching that way too.
Well, there's a lot
I was
of
like,
them.
I watched the one in the middle, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's
Empire
happening?
Strikes Back, yeah.
And
Funny little side story about being confused by series. When I was a kid was talking about I should read Harry Potter, and this was early on, like before the 4th book was even out. Because I
Right.
remember I stayed in line to get the 4th book when it came out, so this must have been before that. And I read the 3rd one because I thought it was just a book.
Right.
I didn't know what a book series was. I
Right.
didn't know you could tell the same story over multiple books.
Right.
So I'm sitting here reading it like, they're fucking, you know who? Who is this guy? What is
You
going
know
on,
who?
dude? Like,
Why does everything
I
say,
had
you
no
know who?
clue.
I don't know.
Where did he come from?
No, I
was-
don't know who.
That's
I
how
was so lost. I had to put it down, and someone was like, "Well, yeah, you got to read the first one first." I was like, "Wait, there's more?"
I only read the first one in the Harry Potter thing, and everybody raved about it. I was like, all right, I'll read this.
Dude,
thing.
I've
I don't
read
even like
every.
reading.
I've read every one of those books probably 10 times.
Wow. We have way too much time in your hands. No, you know what? I could listen to books. That's the one thing. I can't look at something
For some reason, I get too bored listening to books. I'll listen to podcasts all day,
That's crazy.
but I just get bored listening to books. I don't know why.
You like listening to, we've talked about this before, but you like listening to books read by the author themselves better?
Sure. Yeah, I don't really care.
Well, I was wondering if that makes it less boring.
I would need a
you know what I
convincing
mean?
voice. Like,
No, what-
I would need a convincing voice. 'Cause
Right,
Some
exactly.
authors sound like,
A lot of them are voice actors that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is I'll tune out for like a whole chapter and be like, "Ah, shit, back it up."
Exactly. But
like-
I'll find
Where if I
myself
do that with
get
podcasts,
lost
I don't
in
really
thought.
care.
what
you
happened
know?
to the main character?
Right.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Who died? What
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fuck?
right.
Like, I realize I've driven like 40 miles without hearing a word.
He has a baby.
I'll do that. Man. I'll get lost in thought. And,
So if I do that with podcasts, I don't really care that much.
yeah, because it's super.
Yeah.
It's basically just listening and hoping to find something that you relate
Right,
to or
yeah.
or can. you know.
I definitely trust myself. Like if I hear a song I like or hear a bit I like it'll jump out at me.
Right, exactly.
And if it doesn't,
I do too.
don't worry
That's
about
exactly why I do it. But obviously, if you're preoccupied completely, you're not going to listen to a podcast because you're not going to get anything out of
Yeah.
it. But if you're just hanging out or like driving, you're like you said, that's the best time. I love podcasts.
it. Yeah, that's what I spend most of my time listening to.
Yeah. What do you? What's your favorite right now? What kind
Podcasts?
of? Yeah.
I never miss an episode of Bill's. I
Nice,
never miss an
yeah.
episode of Delia's.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And in the
is an
past
awesome
in the past
podcast.
couple months, I've never missed an episode of Your Mom's House.
Nice.
Before the last like 6 months or so, I would kind of listen if I knew the guest, but
Right.
then I haven't missed one since then.
Yeah. See, that's what I do with Joe Rogan.
I skip around with Rogan a lot.
Right. See, with Rogan, I go on phases where I'm like, I won't know that person. I didn't listen to it. But then I'll find out that I'm like, man, I really like that. And I didn't even know that person.
Now I will say sometimes he'll post on Instagram and be like, "Just talk to the inventor of lock picking."
Exactly.
and I'll
And then
be
it's
like,
like-
"Oh, that was that guy I deleted because I didn't know." Now I'll go back and listen
Exactly.
to it.
And
that happens a lot.
That's the cool thing about podcasts who's are ever standing. They're not like,
yeah,
they're not going to get taken
So many
down.
times he'll like describe who it was, and it's
Exactly.
like someone who made a vegan documentary or whatever, you know.
Which is what's so cool about this being a podcast, these music talks that we talk about, you know, why we started this is that now it's archived forever. Like you can go back and like, you know, like
10 years.
Even if
Hopefully.
it's, yeah, well, and I'm sure it's going to change a lot. So a lot of this won't be so valuable anymore. Like how we do certain things now won't be the way we do them then. But it will be interesting to look back and remember how we did things. We're like, oh yeah, that's how we did it. And that's what the process was. That, or, you know, we can go back and use it as almost like a photo book, you know? So
sure.
interesting. And now that
and we say all that to say that the new Star Wars was amazing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got totally off track. But so you saw it and it was amazing.
Yep.
Okay.
Loved it.
No spoilers, but anything crazy happened? Isn't this the last one?
Baby Yoda.
It's the last.
Baby
it's
Yoda
the
is
last
the
in the
big-
Skywalker saga. So
Okay.
it's episode 9. ends
Oh, so
that.
is there gonna be something else after Skywalker Saga?
Who knows? They're gonna make more Star Wars movies for sure.
Cool, because they
But they're not
bought
going to
it.
continue to tell that story.
Right. So the Baby Yoda thing is a huge hit. Apparently, they have
that's
like
from
drinks.
The Mandalorian. Yep.
They have the drinks at the bar now, like Baby Yoda drinks. Have you seen those?
A Baby Yoda.
It's like a martini glass with 2 limes on it. So those are his ears,
Okay.
like 2 slices of limes.
Right, draw
and they
Sharpie.
got 2 olives that sit in the middle. Those are his eyes.
Yep.
And it's just, it looks right on. It's just perfect.
Now
It's a
let me get
Baby
super
Yoda.
nerdy here for a second. We all call him Baby Yoda, and that's cool, but it's not Yoda. There's no possible way it's
No,
Yoda because
right.
it takes place roughly 30 years after Yoda died.
Why does everybody call him
So,
Baby Yoda? So
like, there's
haven't
no
seen-
way,
Yeah,
like-
yeah, that's
just
funny.
because it has the same
I don't know about
ears
30
and-
years, but it's
'cause it
after
looks
the
like
Empire has
green.
fallen, which
Right.
and Yoda dies as that's happening.
Right, so
and he was 800
reincarnated.
years old then.
He's Yoda reincarnated.
The baby's 50, so there's an overlap there that doesn't. It's not
Doesn't
Yoda.
work, right.
That's
Doesn't
why he's simply called the child.
Oh, is he called the child?
That's his character's
Okay,
name.
okay. Well,
So-
there
but
you
everybody
go.
calls him Baby Yoda,
Baby
and that's all
Yoda's
good.
stuck, man. Like that's a thing now.
Well, he's the
biggest
cutest
meme
thing
out
that's
right
ever
now.
been on
It is,
TV.
man. It's so crazy how big that is.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Kyle what he thought of it. I know he went and saw. He's a long time Star Wars fan, obviously.
Yeah. If you're a big Star Wars fan, it's kind of everything you want it to be. I think.
Nice. That's good.
And we're
Good
going to
hear.
see it again tonight, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Again.
A double feature.
Oh, dude, we signed up for the Regal Unlimited.
Oh, so you go anytime you want.
Dude,
yeah.
we're going like 10 times.
Nice.
Like,
We were just talking about getting maybe Carowinds passes for 2020 because it's like, fuck, man. And Dave,
let me know when you go, because I'll go. Because I got, when I first moved up here, Ashton said get some annual passes, so I did. Didn't go once, and still haven't been. So
Damn. Let's go. Yeah, let's plan a trip.
I've been
For
before,
nothing.
but I was probably like 12.
Yeah, let's plan a trip. I
Yeah.
bet there's all kinds of new shit there. I
wanna
haven't
go.
been there in a while either, so totally.
We
down.
just got back from Disney,
Oh, and how was
so
that?
it's not going to top
Yeah,
that.
we talked about it. It was awesome.
But yeah, Disney was, I mean, amazing. I'm really, really good at standing in lines now.
Yep. You
Like,
really,
I'm
really
like,
got
I
that.
basically went through the pro-am of standing through lines.
You got that down now.
Yeah, that's the NFL
Certified
combine
waiter.
of lines.
What is it? What is the trick? Is it fans with water spray? Is what's
Yeah.
the-
Actually, wasn't hot though, which
It
was
wasn't.
nice.
That's nice, yeah.
It was like 70s, like
nice.
up to like on the high end. It was
Florida
80.
gets
Wasn't it humid,
kind of
though?
moderate.
Wasn't it humid though?
It's so
That's the way
humid.
Florida
dude.
is, yeah. But
you
it gets
step off
moderate-
and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. Moderate temperature.
God,
That's cool.
You feel like you're walking through a cloud.
Yep. You basically are.
Yeah.
You got about
So in the
2
winter,
inches
it's
of,
amazing.
2 inches of land before below the
I
ocean.
know, dude. We
Floating out there in a fucking thin
we left
2-inch
here. It was
strip.
30s, 40s, and we landed there. It was 75.
Right,
And we
right.
were like, hell yeah! And we spent all week in 75 shorts, hanging out, having a good time. We came back. It was 40 again.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. Because you get on the plane at 70s, you get off the plane. You're like, oh, it's cold.
Yeah, you need a wardrobe change
Yeah,
somewhere
what
in between. That's interesting.
That
That's
was weird because we're in South, North Carolina, that area. It's not,
yeah,
it's not, cold here
yeah,
very
exactly.
often.
Yep.
But it's not Florida.
It's not Florida, that's for sure. Yeah, it hasn't been that bad this year though. We haven't got any snow or anything yet. Obviously.
No, we probably won't. We did see one gator while we were down there.
Oh yeah,
He was.
Nice.
We were driving. They have all those.
You see him
little lakes and
everywhere,
stuff.
man. I
Yeah,
remember
he was
being
just
down
he was just sunbathing on the side.
I haven't seen any gators when I was in Sebring because there's just lakes all over the place.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mom
don't
said
go in the water,
signs that
dude.
say don't feed the gators.
Right.
Yeah.
Mom said alligators are ornery because they got all those teeth and no toothbrush. Okay, well, Mama's wrong again. Mama's not wrong, you wrong.
Dude, alligators and crocodiles are terrifying creatures.
They are. I used to have nightmares about them.
I read somewhere that they are, and I assume this is true. They've basically remained unchanged since, evolutionary wise, since dinosaurs.
Yeah, they're like the
So
closest
they
to
were,
dinosaurs.
they
Them and
what that
birds.
means is they're basically perfectly designed for how they live.
Right, yeah.
They needed to change nothing.
Yeah,
They didn't need to
evolution.
grow wings, nothing. They just fucking body armor and teeth and perfect. Like,
Impenetrable and
Beta
mean.
version
And
was
mean
the
as
final
fuck.
version.
yeah, exactly. God was just like, fucking nailed it.
Got
dude.
it. Nailed it. These motherfuckers
They
are
didn't
scary
need
as
any
shit.
PLCs.
These other things we need to work on, but this one right here, I crushed.
Birds, too, they say, are the oldest ones, man.
A lot of people think what we think of dinosaurs is incorrect, and they actually were closer to birds.
Right. They
And they
say
have
that we don't
feathers and
have
all kinds
right.
of
We
stuff,
couldn't
yeah.
see the way the feathers are and stuff. And yeah.
There was this funny meme that said someone had to create all the sounds for dinosaurs, having never heard a dinosaur.
That was
Exactly,
it,
yeah.
man. That is it. For Jurassic Park, all those sounds
Yeah.
are just made up. Somebody in there.
Have you seen the documentaries of them doing the sounds for Jurassic Park
No,
and Star Wars
I've
and all that
not
stuff?
seen that. That'd be
Dude,
great.
talk about like some of the most creative, ingenious people on the planet.
Trying to
dude.
like all kinds
So
of
like
different
the
things in a
T-Rex is
room.
like what is it? It's like
Stomping
an
or-
elephant combined with like a horse combined with like all these different things.
Samples.
Oh yeah, all kinds of
Oh,
stuff. Yeah,
okay.
dude.
Damn.
and then blended and
it has
twisted
that
and
deep
reversed and
bass
all
in it
kinds
when
of
it-
stuff,
when it like
dude.
stomps, you go, oh, like it has that fucking.
Star
that
Wars and
bass is
Jurassic
so-
Park were famous for how good their like
Yes.
sound design was.
Yeah. Who was original Star Wars? I mean, sorry, Jurassic Park. Mike, was it not Michael Bay? It was
Spielberg.
Spielberg. Yeah, sorry.
He did all of them. I think he's been involved in all of them.
Yeah, and they talk about the photography and that being amazing too.
Yeah.
The way he shot the things and stuff like that. Really
I don't
amazing.
know a lot. I guess it's different from movie to movie, but like the director sometimes I guess is filming, but you always are going to have a cinematographer who does all the like set the light here, you know, that kind
but
of
what
stuff.
they said is he was a visionary in how he decided to do this because of like where do you CG because it was a newer thing at the time in Jurassic Park. It was like brand new and they didn't have
A
it
lot
really
of it was
good.
real, wasn't it? Like
a lot of it was real
animatronics and stuff?
animatronics, but the part where they used CG in that was super early, so they did it like through windshield shots. They like hit it really well.
Oh,
They
that's
masked,
smart.
Yeah, they masked where they
That
used
was
CG.
that movie was 1990,
Yeah,
91,
earliest
92, something
earliest
like that.
thing that ever had like CG. I think. I mean, that's why it was so big. It had to be like one of the first ones.
So with I heard a funny story. I mean, you know Chris Pratt, obviously, 93.
Oh yeah. The music in that movie is so amazing too.
I heard so Nick Offerman has a new podcast with his wife, and they had Retta on, and so all three of them were
Yeah.
on Parks. So they
Yeah.
of course were talking about Parks, and they said they wanted to do some behind the scenes stuff for like YouTube content and stuff to kind of generate some buzz and marketing and stuff. So they gave Jim O'Hare, who plays Jerry, Retta, and Chris Pratt. So kind of three of the minor characters in the beginning.
Yeah.
They gave them all flip cameras and wanted them to just go do whatever. And that would be behind the scenes stuff.
That's cool.
And Chris Pratt spent like a lot of time talking about how Spielberg just called him to be on Jurassic Park and all that stuff, just joking, like pretending he's a hotshot. Fucking ends up being in Jurassic
Ends up
Park.
being in it. That's awesome. Well, maybe you like
Talk
it.
about
Maybe-
manifesting.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. You put things out into the universe, you know. I just saw a cool TED talk about perception and versus reality. And the very big thought here is that literally what we perceive is what we need to perceive to live. It's not, we're not seeing everything for what it really is, obviously, because we'd be crazy. We wouldn't be able to handle it. It's almost, he used a great metaphor in this TED talk. He said a desktop on a computer, like you click on that folder is actually, you know, obviously connected to a circuit board that has all these diodes and everything in the back of a computer that stores that information. The interface is what you see, you know?
Right.
I said, if we dealt with what is actual, and it's just very
Right,
interesting.
like if you played a
thought.
video game and it was just a bunch of ones and zeros.
Right. It's exactly. So it's all about the
sucks.
interface, and we've designed our environment to be what we need to interface with. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting concept because I forget what the overall thought behind that was. Is basically, man, it was a really deep thought. Anyways, those TED Talks are good. You watch those?
Yeah, I watch a bunch of them.
Yeah. David, ever watch a TED Talk? No, dude, check them out. Usually they're like 15 minutes long.
Yeah, you
They're
gotta
just
find a
really
topic
heady
you're interested
shit.
in for
They're
sure.
thought provoking. Yeah, you could find one on drones. I remember they were talking about drone technology, and the guy just brought all the
Reggie
latest
Watts did one on
drones.
music and creativity.
And like the smart, like they have swarm drones now. They had a fucking whole thing
Swarm
on
drones?
where they all work together. They fly together. They're automated and they can do tasks.
Did you see the new Spider-Man? That's basically what happens in that movie.
Is there like drone?
So they hijacks the bad guy, Mysterio.
Yeah.
Hijacks. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
he's not
spoiler
real.
alert.
He just has hijacked Tony Stark's technology to create basically really hyper real holograms
with
drones that
and-
so like he creates a hologram of like, let's say, a big fire demon, and like when it goes to hit a building, the drones will destroy the building, so it like seems like ultra real and causes real damage, but the thing itself is not real. It's just
I
a
bet that
projection.
movie had some really high end drone technology going on.
It was cool.
For,
I mean, yeah, Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Iron Man
right.
technology.
Makes sense. Those movies got.
But there's hundreds of them combined to like project out this thing, and it's really cool.
That's
so
really
Spider-Man has to figure out how to get inside of it and like fight it from the inside out.
Right.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Dude, drone technology's come a long way. Anyways, those TED Talks are fucking great for as just learning.
Yeah, Reggie Watts did one on
Reggie Watts did a good one. Yeah.
comedy, creativity, music, kind of everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's like, that's the cool thing is too, they're not limited to anything. They could be literally about anything that is just cutting edge basically, or maybe just an explanation on a deep subject, you know, or yeah, it's amazing. I don't know what the criteria is or if there is any.
It might have been in his TED Talk, or it might have been in just a random video, or it could have even been in a special. But there's this one video of Reggie Watts. He comes out and he just starts talking in French, and the crowd's just kind of awkwardly giggling because they don't know what to do.
Right.
And then he seamlessly blends into just talking like a black dude from the hood. and like, and
Wow.
everyone's just like, what's going on? And then he seamlessly blends into talking with like a proper English accent, like high,
he's
like
using
high,
his voice, like I know,
and he just keeps going between all these accents, and people are just like, they don't know what to do, and he's just talking total nonsense.
Right.
That's really, really funny.
That's awesome,
Dude, it's I need to find that for you. It's really funny.
That is funny, right?
And then he does all his music stuff, and
Yeah.
some of his music's like that he just creates on the spot is like genuinely good.
Yeah, he's really cool, and he went on Rogan and talked a little bit about music, that stuff too, that
Yeah.
spirituality
He's an awesome
kind of
dude.
thing. Yeah, really cool guy.
I was this close to getting him on this show. I was talking to his
No way,
manager.
we
Yeah.
should get him on, man. 2020, new year,
Yeah.
new goals.
We'll see.
Let's try again. When we're early in a podcast, obviously you don't have the clout to go out and get anybody. So we're building our reputation. We're almost at 100 episodes, man.
Yep.
Which I'm so psyched to do that episode. By
Yep.
the way,
I
that's
can't
gonna be
wait.
so great. That's more
Can't
coming
wait.
up.
We're gonna have a lot of different, like, for lack of a better word, filming sessions, recording
exactly
sessions.
right.
You know,
Yep.
to pull that off because we have so many different.
And this is a
subsets of people.
special episode. They won't all like this, but then hopefully
I hope it's over 3 hours.
that'd be great. That'd be great. It'd be a great, nice, big wrap up kind of the year and also of our podcast of the last 100 episodes. We could, I think we should maybe try to see if we can go to full video for 2020 or not 2020, sorry, but after the 100th episode.
Yeah, I think we can.
I think we can do it.
We've been toying with it. We basically got it all set up.
We've got a really good setup now. And Dallas made some beautiful interfaces. I don't know what you call those, overlays, I guess.
Overlays, yeah.
They're beautiful, man. It's gonna be great. I'm stoked.
Just kind of trying to tie in the whole
Exactly.
color change
That,
theme.
and
all
I
that
like
stuff.
the wood grain. It's really nice. And you guys have probably noticed our logos and everything changed just recently. Dallas did all that.
We've been working on that. We haven't
Revamped it.
announced it or anything, but we've obviously it's up there.
Right.
So if you've been
right.
paying attention, you can
Episode
see it.
100 is going to be a big turning point for us. So
Yeah.
we'll fill everything in, and it'll all make sense real soon. But we're revamping. We're making our new look, updating everything. We're going to go to video podcasting. So it's going to be a much.
What I was telling you last week was I think we should do the video podcast in this room
Yeah, I think so too.
because we can just set the thing behind us. We can use this computer without me having to
That's
move
probably the ticket, man.
it. Because we'll have to use this one because of the jacks.
right.
We figured that out.
For episode 100, would you want to use the other room I don't know, to make it different, and then we go to our normal look or whatever, or should we just try that new look right away with the episode 100?
Yeah, I think we should just
Okay,
try the new one
cool.
and see how it works.
Cool, because I know we talked about doing it in the other room too, so I didn't know if you wanted to try that or
We'll
not.
have to get
but-
some sort of table, or maybe we could use that.
Yeah. Well, like a fold-up table with a curtain on it or something, or a little thing, something simple. But yeah, video podcasting. I'm stoked.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I think
being able
that'll
to pull up
inject some
things
life into it,
online,
yeah.
pull up things. It
Yeah.
will inject some life, and also open new doors for us as far as what we can do with it and how we can take it.
Yeah, when we talk about a top 10
Skyping-
list, we can pull up the people.
Skyping,
you
we
know,
can actually have the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we can show them. That'd be
for
cool.
sure. If they agree.
If they agree, obviously, and hopefully they would. I mean, if we're a full video podcast and they see how nice it looks, we can have a Skype window.
We should
pop up
test
and-
that for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, we definitely need to.
Maybe you like Skype us from
Skype
like
in and then try
next
it.
door or something.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Yeah. So David, most of the time we do our Skype interviews just audio only, and it saves bandwidth, so it's better in a lot of reasons. But we want to, now we're moving to video. We'll probably have to figure out a way to Skype people in, but that's a lot of
Or those could still just be
bandwidth
audio
or-
only. You know.
yeah. I guess so.
You're more likely to have the freezing and the glitching and all that stuff when you're doing video.
Or what if we did video, just audio, just a call, because we'll be a video show by then. Like we're talking about in that era. Or
we just
whatever.
have their picture up or something.
We'd have their picture up exactly, and then them talking with the audio symbol thing. Hey, you know
Just
those
a
little
picture?
Yeah, just a picture up, because maybe,
Well, like
maybe it
when-
won't be a lot
like-
of bandwidth. To,
like when you're Skyping with someone and their video's off, you see their picture. You know?
oh, that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Right. Their logo or their emblem,
Whatever they've uploaded,
their emblem. Yeah. Cool. I'm stoked about that, man. That's big.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And we've basically done all the groundwork, bought all the stuff we need to buy.
Yep.
So
We're 5 episodes away from the big reveal.
that's crazy.
That is crazy. I'm
The
stoked.
big reveal.
The
Yeah.
big,
Can't wait.
yeah, the big, the whole visual. You
We got a lot of recording sessions coming up that I'm excited to think about.
Yes.
So right now it's interesting to think that we have no idea what we will have created, but then at episode
know.
100 we'll
I
be
love
able to
that.
think like, oh, well, that's what we made. you know?
Exactly, and I love that, and I can't wait to do the follow up podcast where we talk to everybody who's involved with episode 100. That whole thing.
We're gonna break it up into sections, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
So
And that'll be a
it'll
good way to
basically
use
be
chapters.
multiple-
That'll be a good way to find out what chapters are
That's a
for.
good
And
one.
that's, you know what I mean? Because
That's
we're
a
gonna
good
have a
idea.
lot going on there. That's cool. All right, more stuff in the future. I'm ready. Bring it on.
Oh, this is something we need to do that iTunes introduced.
What is it?
So you can now, let me show you. When you go to a podcast,
On iTunes, you're talking.
yeah, this is only for iTunes. I mean, I'm sure other places do it, but
Okay.
you go to like, let's go to Bert's podcast here. His is another one I've been listening to more than.
Okay.
More
Yeah. You
often
showed
than
me
not.
this thing. Oh, Burr. I thought you said Burr. Sorry. Burr.
No. How do I get to the actual show though? All right, hold on.
You have to go to like the show page,
Stupid.
right? Is what you're looking for.
So you go to the dude.
I know, dude. I'm so frustrated by Apple Music's outline, like interface
See
or
all
whatever.
episodes, I guess. I don't. Anyway, you can get to when you go to the episode page. Like if you search it,
Yeah,
search
Birdcast.
Joe Rogan.
Okay, Joe Rogan.
It has the host picture, so it'll say like hosted by, and then Joe Rogan.
And
with a
Alex, you
picture.
have his face there, like a headshot.
Now the internet's not loading, even though we pay for the
Of
top
course.
internet, of course.
Of course, when you're on the show and trying
Yeah.
to pull something up.
So the podcast of Joe Rogan. There you go.
Oh,
Hosts
cool.
and guests.
And now, are those people like on some? That looks like it's like it leads to a profile page.
Shows you everything he does.
Oh, that's cool. So it just leads you to all his other podcasts or anything
Yeah.
he
He
guested
doesn't,
on.
he doesn't really do anything other than that.
He's got his podcast. He's on 4 times a week, anyways, right?
Yep.
So I mean, like, why does he need to get out there more? I like it when he goes on other people's episodes, though, just to hear the cross kind of, like people run their shows differently. You know what I mean? So you see a different style or side of the way they talk or the way conversation
Right.
go. Like
I like that. Yeah. Like D'Elia, for example.
Yeah.
On his show, he's so silly and goofy. When he's on another show, he's sometimes silly and goofy, but more often than not,
When he's
just
on Fighter and the Kid are my favorite
Yeah.
episodes, dude.
He just takes it over, dude.
and him and Theo Vaughn, both of those guys are the best,
Yeah.
like to be on that show.
Did you listen to the recent one where they're both on it?
Both on it.
It's
Yeah,
really funny.
I saw the highlights of it. I did not listen to it yet, but I did.
Theo at one point goes, "Man, this is exhausting." I was like, I can't agree more. It's just 4 people talking over each other. Hey, what's up with everyone hating on Brendan Schaub, though?
I don't know. What is it?
I mean, I kind of get it.
Is
He's
it
definitely the odd man out. Like, he's not as funny as the others.
He's the fighter. He's the part that brings the, that's what that whole Fighter and the Kid is. I don't know. It's his.
Every comment I see is like, this show would be better without Brendan. Like, literally every comment I see on their page.
Wow. Well,
And his special came out.
yeah, I heard it wasn't
Oh.
good. I haven't watched it.
He's only
though.
been doing comedy for like 2 years.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy that he's even where he's at. But just because of his,
How do you have a
his
special?
fighting,
How did anyone let him get a special?
fighting special? I mean, Joe Rogan helped him hugely. Obviously he came from the fighting world, and Joe Rogan's in comedy. Probably talked him into getting into comedy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't
Opportunities.
seen it. I don't really know. Every episode I listen to, he's not even on somehow.
Yeah, he's always like doing
he's
something.
always gone.
Yeah.
The only one I've heard him on recently is that one that I just said, but
I mean, you needed a break from the spotlight. Who knows?
I don't know.
Anyways.
We haven't talked about a lot of music stuff, huh?
No, let's get into that. I had a kind of question for you because
Okay.
obviously you have a lot of experience in this.
do what I
and
can.
We have a little bit of experience in this. Our first video that we uploaded, I never had any issues with. I thought the sound quality was good. I went to upload. The whole point of this was to like a way to share your album before it's released. Like there's lots of different ways to do it. For people
Why would you want? I was gonna say. Why would
for
you
people
wanna do
who would review it or people who maybe your family, whatever, whoever you trust and want to hear it, right?
Right.
Also, like to spread the word and stuff like that, you can get people to help you release it and all that. So, but anyways, I uploaded the whole album front to back, like so. All the songs, I strung them together in this video editing software, and then put just our logo on it. Real simple, no fancy video. I don't need, I just want to wait for people to hear it, obviously. And then for some reason, when I went back and listened to it, I saw that David had mentioned actually that the bottom end was like completely gone and missing out of it. And I was wondering if there's a specific maybe process that people should be going through. Because obviously we know our music sounds, pretty good and it's got like a full body and we don't want it taken away just because we upload it to YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we make sure that our sound stays, full quality when we upload it? I mean, obviously I think it's the way I output it from that video thing, or it could be the way I uploaded it to YouTube, one or the other. It got lost somewhere in there.
Yeah, sometimes like one of those videos we uploaded where we're doing the screen captures. One of those uploaded to like 480p max.
Oh,
and the others are 1080. So it's
that's
like
weird.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
why did one
or
do
720 or whatever?
YouTube
it was.
definitely does have some little glitches, and
Sometimes it does weird things, but more often than not, it's user error.
I probably just missed a setting, is what I'm thinking as I was going through it, outputting, and I just, like here's what I was thinking. We record in 44.1K, right? If I output it as something else, will that distort it? Will that change the way it sounds and fuck it up?
Possibly. It's weird because sometimes I've had it do that and sometimes I've had it not do that.
Okay.
So I don't really
Yeah, it's
know
interesting, huh?
why that happens. But,
Yeah, and we know that you have to record them the same for if you're having like multiple tracks in a file. They have to all be
it
the
changes
same.
the pitch of it.
Right.
Is
You
what
have,
happens.
exactly. So you have to have all those straight. But then when you output it,
But if you record a guitar track for me at your studio at 48K and you send it to me in my sessions in 44.1, I can easily import that in with no problem.
no problem. The other way around is hard to do.
No, I don't think it's a problem.
Oh,
well,
okay.
maybe. I don't know. I've only ever done it that one way.
Okay.
So,
Right.
but yeah, I'm not a sample rate expert by any means. Mostly
I know.
because I've never had any issues with
I
it.
know. And I just wanted to kind of pontificate on it a little bit.
But
just
the
like,
video stuff I can help you with because I do know some about that. One thing, I know you do a lot of your video editing on the iPad, and
Yeah.
I'm wondering if some of those apps are limited in their functionality as far as like outputting and exporting and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I can show you what it has, and it seems like it has all the things you need,
pull it
like
up.
4K, and it has 3K. It has anything you really need, but it just sometimes maybe it
If it's got everything you need, you need to make sure that you've given it the correct information and that you're telling it to export the correct information in the correct ways.
Right, exactly, and
Is that the video app there, Luma Touch?
Yeah, Luma Touch. It's a really powerful app, but it's like $30. It really wasn't too
Okay,
much
so you
money.
show have some decent functionality with that.
Yeah, it's
I've done video editing so much with a computer that I have a hard time even trusting an iPad.
Yeah, you've got the full setup. You don't need to do iPad. So you can go right here. You can actually output it right to YouTube, which is interesting. Most of the time I find
Is that what you did?
That adds another step. Well, it adds another step to the process, and I'm always afraid, basically all one. It's going to upload it first, it's going to output it, then it's going to upload it. So I'm always afraid that something's going to go wrong and all that shit going on. So I always just do photo first, but let's do the YouTube one for now.
Is this the project here that you've been working on?
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, I think it is. So then you have these options here. You have your video quality and audio quality.
This is where you want to. That's where you want to go higher.
Ultra.
It's better. I mean, you usually don't have to.
But
So,
it's
like,
just a
for
picture,
example,
so I
if you
thought
try
the
to
video
export
quality-
at 4K, but you've only filmed in 1080p.
So you
that's
know what
not
I was
gonna help
thinking? You know what I just realized? I was getting confused between video rate, quality rate, and also resolution. So resolution would not matter because this picture is just a picture of our logo. We don't need it to be
Also, that 1080p is incorrect.
because it's square.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because it's this is not what I thought it was. This is something else I'm working on.
that's just a square
It's an Instagram
image.
post I was
Gotcha,
working on.
gotcha.
So yeah, that's a square one. But you can obviously get it widescreen and everything. But it outputs in 4K, which is nice, and 3K, and whatever you want to break it down to. Got some good options. It's pretty good, and it links
If you
to
want
YouTube.
MP4s are good. If you want the super high quality video, MOV is the one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're not doing VR.
Ah,
so it doesn't
okay.
matter. But that probably doesn't explain.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play around with this more, but I just wanted to get your insight on that a little bit. Maybe something I could do better. But resolution can be low, but video quality I do want high because that's gonna affect the audio as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
If you should pull up the actual session when we're done here and we can look at
Yeah,
it.
I will. Yeah, cool. We'll do it. It's not a riveting conversation to have on the podcast.
Yeah, when you
but,
can't see
hey,
it.
but you know what? If we were video, we could have that conversation. We could run through this app a little bit.
We'd have to
we'd have to put a camera on it,
Yeah.
our spare camera on
Yeah.
the iPad itself. Not a bad idea though. We're gonna explore with all those options.
Yep.
All right, thanks for running through that with me. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. So what other things you can do to share your
Yeah.
app before it's released?
We were
you
going to
can
talk
do,
about that. Different ways to do it too. Because my alternative right now is Box. That's what I'm using. And
Yeah.
that's just a Dropbox app.
We like
type
Box.
thing.
Everybody likes Box. I was thinking.
A little bit of euphemism there.
The problem with those are it's never like guaranteed that like
the person's
they
going to know
get
how
it
to
with all
use
the proper
it.
permissions.
Right,
You know,
right. It does seem a little because they have like safeties in place so that people can't download it and take it or whatever.
And usually it's because like you forgot to check like share with link,
Right.
And now you're sending it to all these people and they can't get to it.
Exactly,
Now
yeah.
you just wasted everybody's time and
So it's
they,
good to
you know,
check them. It's good to check it. And it's a good way to check
so
that. I would
annoying.
say send it to your band. Like say, hey guys, look at this. And then if,
that's a good
everybody in your band can get it. Probably have different phones, different styles of stuff, whatever, right? Actually, in our band, we all have iPhones. But if everybody, like if one person in your band's got an Android, they'll be able to test for that, and just kind of vet it out a little bit, make sure it's not impossible to get to. But YouTube, I feel like, is the most...
YouTube's pretty universal, like you were saying.
That's what I'm thinking. So
if it's working, everybody's going to understand how to do
Exactly.
it. Other good ones are Bandcamp. People like that one.
yeah, that's a good
It's fine.
idea.
It's
That
not
and
my favorite.
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud's the other one.
that's a good one. Because that's all free. And
SoundCloud basically has an unlisted option as well, where you can just, if you have the link,
Just
you can
share
get to
it,
it,
yeah.
but it's not private.
Yeah, you know who else had that? Actually, Reverb Nation, which we did a lot of things for.
Okay.
They would do that for you. You would upload your music and they'd make a little share page based just for that.
That's smart.
Yeah, it is smart. I like that. And it looked nice too, but there was too many other things wrong with the way that worked for me.
Like what?
A lot of things was just the way the subscription worked. I felt like it was like I'm paying a monthly fee for not a lot of... They weren't doing enough for me. They were hosting our website is all they were really doing. And it wasn't a very pretty website. So I knew I could do that better. I just kind of delayed for a while. Now I feel like we finally were on the right track there as far as
you're Shopify
our web
now, right?
store. Yeah, except Shopify, and we use Printful to fulfill it, which is awesome. We need to meet with them, dude. We
They have a Charlotte warehouse.
That's where that is, Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I think we should, eventually after we do some business with them and all that, we should eventually set up a meeting and go talk to them.
Let's do it. That's a good
They're
idea.
local, you know?
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Local, but a national company.
Exactly. A big,
cool.
big company. And then maybe you never know, they could help us out better for what we do. You know, who knows? They might have some ideas.
Yep.
They probably appreciate the audacity of actually just showing up, like setting up a meeting and showing up, talking to somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, so I wanted to let you know how we're using your, services and see if there's anything that you can recommend us better, or maybe we can, or keep us on the loop of new things coming, like because that's huge as far as like, I think a huge marketing trick is to be on top of the fucking market, like just to understand what's coming and where it's going.
We could have one of their marketing people on to talk about drop shipping.
Yeah. That would be great.
That's good.
That's a great idea. Have them on for the interview. Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
And all our interviews after episode 100 are going to be available exclusively for patrons on our Patreon page.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's gonna be the big change.
Yep.
So that'll be an incentive to get the Patreon.
So if you want to hear us talk about fun stuff, that's free.
Yep.
But if you want to hear
us talk to
any of the
professionals.
interviews we're going to have, that's going to be behind our Patreon page, which is, we highly encourage you all to sign up for, obviously.
Yeah, that's how we're moving this whole thing to video, and we really appreciate the support we've received so far. Obviously, like everybody listening, thank you so much. 2020 is going to bring some big things. I'm excited.
Yes,
Indeed.
I can't say that enough, actually.
there's David.
There's David.
He's back there. He took a nap, but he woke up.
He's like, let's talk about some drums. Dude, actually, that makes a good segue to our topic that you were telling us just a little bit earlier. And I said, let's talk about it on the show. The stand-up for drummers.
Yep.
Who is it
Fred
with?
Armisen. Released a while ago now. It's on Netflix.
Okay, so it's been out a little bit.
It's called Stand Up for Drummers. And it's exactly what it sounds like.
It's kind of funny though, but if you think about the double meaning there, stand up for drummers,
Yeah, it's basically January 2018, so almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. How long is it? An hour long?
It's just like a normal stand-up special.
Yeah. Cool. I'd have to check that out for sure.
Oh, if it's on Netflix, I'm definitely going to check this out.
Yeah, I bet that's funny as hell. Because there's so many drummer jokes, There's so many of those little inside jokes that you kind of know. Like, I guess it's not really a joke. It's just things that drummers have in common.
It's
yeah, exactly.
Relatable, which just makes it funny.
It is, exactly. It's a certain type of person that plays the drums, obviously, and there's certain type
By
of
the way,
play guitar. And
here's the best part.
Sing.
Admission is free, but you have to play a paradiddle to get in.
Oh my god!
For real, that was his ticket price.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my goodness! I would
David
go crazy. I would do
Was it a
paradiddle,
practice pad or
a double
was it-
paradiddle,
It's just the admission people were basically just holding a practice pad with sticks, and you just walk up and walk in.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it keeps the people out that are like, I love Fred.
This is
but
for
don't play
drummers. Yeah, this is for drummers only.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That is
or
really
or it
cool.
might have inspired someone who really wanted to see him to learn a paradiddle real quick.
So wait a
It's
minute.
not
So what
hard,
if you
but-
like bring a date though, and you're like, does she have to do a paradiddle too, or does he do the paradiddle
If
and they
she's
both
coming,
get in?
I
don't know.
would teach her.
Right, you have
Yeah,
to she
super
has
easy.
to learn. It is, yeah. So what is it? Paradiddle. Is that how it's
Right,
Right, left,
left.
right, left.
That's
Yeah,
it,
so you're
right.
basically playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're switching hands on the accent.
That's funny. I wonder if they like just got them through it. Whoever wanted to go, they just have to get through it. Or if you have to.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
go
you
up
don't
there
have
and
to,
just-
I'm
like-
sure you have to play it with some kind of confidence. You just
think?
can't go up there and be like right, left.
So they're just like,
right,
nah, you're not
right.
good enough. Get out of here.
No, I think
I don't know,
I think they would let you in if you,
I think
if
they
you
would.
play it.
I
But
think
there's
a
definitely
girl-
those guys that walk in and go, all right, let's
Yeah,
roll.
exactly. Little rip.
But I thought that was super cool.
That is cool.
I think admission was free, but I know you had to do the paradiddle to get in.
That's really cool. That's funny.
he
It's
also
just
didn't
funny.
do that
It's
many
more.
of them.
It's more fun for the event. Like everything that Ari talks about is like making all your shows an event. That's more of it. Like this whole thing is not just a stand-up special. It's for drummers, and it's got a whole
Right.
thing, and that made it so special. It's going to stand out.
And I like that he's so niche with it because
Right.
what he's basically saying is this is not for 95% of people.
Exactly, because then
This is
he's
not for
controlling his
99% of
audience. He's
people.
controlling
Yeah.
his audience, and it doesn't have to be a giant audience to get a lot of people to watch
But for
it.
that 1%, they're going to love it.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
They're going to love it more
Exactly.
than if you had just done something for everybody.
And I hope people who are not drummers, like me, I'm not a drummer. I'll watch it and get some enjoyment and amusement out of it.
If you understand drums or like drums, I think you'll get something out of it.
Yeah. Probably
Now it's on
anybody
Netflix. You don't have to play a paradiddle to watch it on Netflix.
Right. Now you have to paradiddle on your controller on the new.
It's the secret password and it pops up.
Right. It's
You do
just
it on your
R-
PlayStation. Circle, square, circle, circle, square, circle, square, square.
Yeah. You have to type in RLLR.
Yeah. Like all the old Grand Theft Auto cheat codes.
Right.
Down, up, left, RL.
Dude, PlayStation cheat codes are such a thing that it like doesn't even seem real anymore. Like it's so long ago. Like, is there still cheat codes in games now?
Not as much, really.
I don't think so. That's what I'm like.
more
Well,
like
because
Easter
they've
eggs.
all
PC
become
stuff for
like
sure.
They're just Easter eggs, more
Right.
yeah, but they've all become like competitive, so they don't want you to cheat.
Right.
Where it's like, I miss the days where I could just turn on invincibility and go like gun down citizens in
Grand
the
Theft
street.
Auto stuff, and yeah.
The main thing about games today is they're really made for the single player.
Right.
With
Because now
stories.
online play is so big. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like you're not going to cheat online. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing too. I think. You know, they don't want backdoors and weird.
I'm
Actually, I messed
so
that
not
up.
a fan of multiplayer.
I messed that
online
up.
stuff.
Games today, they're made for multiplayer.
Right.
Games back then were made for single player.
Right, exactly.
So then back then when you had your games, they were already fully, everything was, all the content was there.
was
Right.
snuck in
I
there,
miss that
exactly.
so
Yeah.
much.
No.
I miss having a story, and that's why, as much as I loved the first Battlefront, it capped out for me because it was basically you just go online and keep playing the same missions
Right,
again.
right.
Which you think like, why would you want to do that? And then you think, well, that's what football is.
Right. It is playing the same
It's
plays.
sports.
Yeah,
they're in the same field doing the same shit every week, but everybody goes to that. You know,
and you can look at it like your training, like you're getting better and you're
yeah.
you're
I actually got pretty good at
improving.
Battlefront.
Yeah, you get.
I had
you
one.
improve.
I had one match where I had like 50 kills or something.
Nice.
I was just shredding.
Nice. I had every once in a while I have a good game, but man, I was never really good at those.
No, I was
shooters.
always terrible. I had
Yeah.
one good game and a couple of games where I was in like
I think the problem
teens.
is I wasn't that interested. I was interested and intrigued by it because of the technology, I think, because I'm just
Yeah.
a curious person and I like when technology pushes like that and you know, like, man, these are the way video games are now.
Yeah,
and I get all wrapped up in it and I
It
start
was hard
playing
for me
them.
to get better because I would just spawn and then get sniped in the head,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
die
well,
and respawn
that's
and then get crushed.
Another
I was
trick
just like,
I learned.
was always dying.
Another trick I learned is that when you buy video games, the best time to buy them is when they just come out because nobody has the advantage yet.
Yeah.
Like you're literally in a pool. I mean, you'll have people who are good gamers, but they don't know the maps and know all the spawns and completely have the thing rigged by the time you get in there. Because that's what happens when you go back and play Call of Duty 4. Everybody knows everything about it. What?
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
3,
Yeah,
the spawn kills.
Oh, yeah, Ashton was in a clan and everything. Like he was like almost a pro. At
I
that
think
game.
I joined a clan too. It was just my friends. It wasn't like we competitive.
MLG.
Yeah, it wasn't competitive.
Ashton was
Major
telling me all
League
about
Gaming.
quick scopes and all that stuff. It's just
Oh,
like,
right,
dude,
right.
I just want to like have fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. Me too. I like big games. We play a lot of role playing games and stuff like that. Like
yeah, Oblivion, Skyrim.
yeah, exactly. Those are just amazing. Another thing was just like amazing technology, like how good the game is. It's like what?
So when they came out with Battlefront 2, they actually added a story mode, which was
Yeah.
nice. It still has all the multiplayer stuff, but the story mode was nice.
That is nice.
Because sometimes I want to be able to play on like by myself without having to subscribe to the online package.
That's one of the
and,
great
like,
things about Call of Duty, actually, too. We should probably hit on. They were the first ones to really blow that that online shooter game thing. But I feel like they were like,
Halo was the
Halo.
one.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Sorry, but the Call of Duty stuff had a great gameplay too, like through the story.
Halo had a good
But they
story,
got
too.
really short towards
Yeah.
the end. The Call of Duties, they started getting shorter and shorter because they were putting more effort into the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So
until they got to the point where like Battlefront doesn't even have a single player
Right.
mode. Like you have to
Exactly.
play online.
exactly.
Or you can do like a couple missions offline, but it's the same mission. You're just like, you
Yeah.
know, NPCs are playing. But I don't know. I like a
games.
story.
I love games, and just to tie this into music, I want to figure out how to get our music on video games, man. That seems like such a cool honor,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel honored.
That's mainly how I found most of my music
Yeah,
that I listen to today.
Me too, man. I found Avenged Sevenfold that way. I found
yeah.
I found nothing but thieves that way. They were on
Unwritten
Madden.
Law. Oh, really? Nothing but these on Madden. Cool.
Madden 20. That would have been 2016.
Cool.
This song kept coming on, and I was just like, that song rips,
It rips, dude. It does.
Finally looked it up, and I was like, oh, the band rips.
Yeah, I heard. I found that band, Nothing But Thieves, from the band next door to us playing a cover of it, and I was like,
I told you
that's
about
pretty
them, though.
good. Yeah, no, you told me after you were at the Playroom with me,
And I
they
said,
were
I said,
playing,
I said,
and
does
you
the band actually play Nothing But Thieves?
Yeah, and I was like, who's that? I've heard him
Yeah.
play this all the time. I thought
Yeah.
it was their original, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, that's Nothing But Thieves.
They
I was
played like 2 or 3 of them, and I was
That's how I
like,
found out
are
about
they
them.
playing that song? Because
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, I recognize that song.
yeah, it's a chick singer, so it's a little different, but they obviously he
that
sings
guy has
high.
a nice,
yeah.
pretty falsetto, so that's nicely
worked.
suited for a
It
female
worked.
singer.
Yeah, that band's not there anymore, and they've since disbanded.
So what? Tell me this. What's going on at the Playroom? I heard you talking a little bit with Mike. I heard some things going around, but like, it seems like since I was there, which was not that long ago with you, when was that? When we left in the summer,
Mid-year,
right?
yeah, mid-year last year.
It seems like every room is turned over.
Yeah, they've definitely turned over a bunch, and that could be due to the nature of the game. You mean, like people can't afford to do this forever if they expect maybe to see some success early and that pay for their way, but maybe they don't have the right plan, and think about it, like. Not everybody is like you and I and everybody listening to this podcast where you are actually making steps to make this a professional thing and a real living. I bet there's a lot of people who get in over their head and they think they can afford this monthly fee, which is another rent. It's
Right.
another
Oh, yeah,
rent.
for
I
sure.
mean, how are you going to pay
It's
for
a
that?
full rent.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Whatever
And
you're paying for rent, this is also that.
yeah, and exactly, and that's kind of on the point too. Is that I think rent's been going up too, so it could even be that making even more hard. But maybe the demand's there because it's not like they're empty. The rooms are getting turned over, so the demand's there. I guess that he has every right to charge more, but I mean, it is hard on bands.
Well, isn't the way you determine your pricing with supply and demand? You
Yeah.
go as high as you can until you start losing our customers and you bring it back
right?
down.
Because if you've got 5 empty rooms, you better bring the price down a little bit.
Right,
But, you know,
yeah.
so that's
But if all your
ultimately-
rooms are full, you up it. Some people leave, more people come
makes
in.
total
you up
sense.
It, you know?
Makes total sense. But I'm not sure why, Dallas. It just seems like maybe it's a turnover year or something. Everybody's kind of like either starting new or ending. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Because we know.
Also, you got to
our
think
friends,
like
the Hawthorns,
bands don't last that long.
Right.
People come and go, and pretty soon, like the Hawthorns.
Exactly.
Somebody left, and then the band was like,
they were
"Whatever, we're
around
done." You know.
for 7 years, 8 years, I think.
Really?
Yeah, they have a long.
I thought it was shorter than that for
Me
some
too,
reason.
but I bet it's just probably the process of getting a CD out. Like it takes a long time for a band first, and then they put out 2 CDs, so they've gone through that process twice.
Yeah.
And you know, not with any kind of hurry, hustle, or anything like that. They're doing it for the love of music. And Mike Prescott is a fucking amazing guitar player. I gotta say that.
Good player.
Yeah. Anyways, and Odd Day's voice, that band's great. I'm glad that they put out an album because I'll listen to that album. I put it on for easy listening times when I want to chill out. It's
Yeah.
so smooth, man. Love it. We got to have them back on.
Yeah.
Oh, we are going to have them back on. Episode 100.
Oh yeah.
We have Mike
for that.
on. Yep.
I feel like a possible contributing factor, whether spoken or unspoken, is the fact that they were so eclectic.
Right.
Like a band where everyone likes everything and tries to put everything into every song
Yeah.
is bound to at some point be like, this fucking sucks.
Well,
You know,
they
it-
had like
like-
all kinds of like influences from across the board. Like they
Right.
were doing Alice in Chains covers. And,
Right.
And that's due to their eclectic taste and stuff like that. And look at Mike.
But at
like,
some point, you have to have some
shredder-
sort of focus.
Right.
You know, like,
right.
okay, we're a rock band. You know,
Sure,
or, okay,
sure.
we're a soul band.
It probably
funk or
helps at
whatever.
least for the viability of it.
Yeah.
It probably does.
Yeah,
and
maybe, yeah.
marketability, because you kind of know what you're getting. Whereas like somebody who likes a band that changes a lot could be harder to break into because you never know what you're going to get. It's not consistent
Right.
enough. But like, look at bands like Queens of the Stone Age, man.
Guns did it too.
Yeah, exactly. Like really just all across the board, like as far as what they were able to do and what their interests were. You know, Guns N' Roses put out a full punk album, which is all punk covers. Well, it
yeah.
wasn't
It was
all
a-
punk
it was a
cowers,
weird
but
move.
mostly punk covers. It was a very weird album, but
We
I
have the
find it
benefit.
my
benefit
favorite.
of 20, 30 years of that just having been the story.
Yeah.
But like at the time, that had to have been a weird move, dude.
Let's do a list. Not now, obviously, but let's do a list on best cover albums because that fascinates
Train
me.
covered Led Zeppelin's 2, I think.
The whole album? No way.
Top to bottom, yep.
That's kind of like that.
Well, they
Jimmy-
started as a Train tribute.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Sorry, Zeppelin
Zeppelin
tribute. Train
tribute,
started
right.
as a Zeppelin tribute.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me of that. What was it? It's Jimmy Page with the Black Crowes.
Black Crowes, yeah.
Yeah. I kept Black Keys kept coming in my head. I was
That
like,
album
that's definitely
is-
not who it was. It was Black
We
Crowes.
probably said that on the podcast already, but that album is probably the best live album I've
It's
ever
so
heard.
cool. That's got Shake Your Moneymaker. It's got like the Black Crowes songs on it and a bunch of
No Black Crow songs.
Shake Your Moneymaker's on
That's
it.
not their song. That's an old blues song.
Oh, I thought that was their song.
No, they
Shit.
named their album after that song, but that song's not on that album.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
not
know
their
that.
song.
Oh shit, that's weird. That's a weird one. You name your album after a song you didn't even write.
I guess.
That's crazy. But it was a killer song. Obviously, they did a killer job. It could have been like it called the title track, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard them do that song, but it's not theirs. Yeah, it's an old blues song.
Yeah. They do the Otis Redding or
And then everything else
Otis
on that
Redding.
set list is just Zeppelin.
Yeah. That was cool, man. I listened to
good-
it the other day at work. It was really neat.
It's got a lot of energy in it. You know? You can really feel
you
the
could
like,
tell that
crowd
they
and
were.
everything.
Yeah, they probably had we're having a good night because you said they recorded that like twice, right, or 3 times,
There were 3 nights.
right?
I think it was 1 and then 2 together later. And after the first one, they were like, "This is awesome. We have to record this," because they weren't planning on doing that.
Right.
And then the second one, the first night they were recording, they said was terrible. And
Okay.
they didn't use any of it.
So then the third night
So
they had one shot.
everything
to
you're
get
hearing
it.
is on the third
That's
night.
crazy. You know what? I just had a revelation too recently because I was at the record store with some friends and I realized that the live records are awesome because I got like George Thorogood live at whatever, because you have a collection of songs from all their albums up to that point, obviously, depending on what
Right.
year it is. And you don't have to buy fucking 10 records to get all the hit songs. You can listen to a live album that has all their hits on it. So
Yeah.
it's like a greatest hits, but also adding the fact that you're hearing a live performance. So there's this cool in between, like where people are talking, when they're talking.
I like that stuff.
Me too.
I don't think I ever really trust so much anymore that any song is like truly live. I have to hear the
yeah, I
behind
know.
the scenes
I know.
story. Like,
No,
for
learning
example,
what
in
we
Steve
learned.
Gorman's book, he says specifically that other than Chris Robinson going in to do a few vocal overdubs,
Right.
nothing was touched on that.
No, that's cool.
So, but other than like, I don't think you're going to get that kind of honesty with most people. Like,
Yeah, Kiss
got what you mean.
Kiss came out and said that they don't
like they'll basically
it's
do
all
it in the
recorded
studio.
in the
you know?
studio and then
Yeah.
put the fucking the audio over it, or the crowd cheering over it. So my question is though, are they doing they have to record it all again to make it sound different than the studio, right? They're not using the same tracks, but so are they going in there and just tracking everything, or are they mixing it differently to make it sound live? Like, what is it?
They definitely probably retracked everything.
Because
Sure.
you can hear it, and like I think the Guns N' Roses stuff was
guess.
probably real, right?
The Guns N' Roses, the reason that what I know about that album is it's first of all called Live Era,
Right.
91 to 93 or whatever.
Yep.
So it's different. They pick different good performances over like a 2-year
Yeah, and
tour.
they actually show you on the thing
So there's
where
definitely
they
one
were
night
playing.
where you crush this song.
Exactly.
You know, like out of 2 years.
And I wonder too, like they wanted to play the whole set list, I'm sure. Like they had that, right? So they just need to get a good take on every one of them. I wonder if they like pieced it out and were like, Axel, give it all your all on this one. You
I
know?
doubt it. I
Or if
bet
they just
because they didn't even plan on doing that album.
Right.
They just retroactively were like, oh, we should put out a live album.
Put these
Like,
out.
you know,
Yeah. That's interesting. Keep
So-
that in mind though. Best cover albums. I think that's interesting because there's some really good ones.
We should
out
maybe
there.
do best live albums.
And the best live albums is a good one too.
We should do that.
But
Stuff like that.
David,
I have a good live
Oh,
album.
sweet. Maybe
is
we'll
it?
have you back on soon because we only want to do these with guests because it adds another well, not only I guess, but it's good to do with guests because it adds another opinion into the mix instead of just me and
Yeah,
Dallas.
right.
And we'll tell the guest ahead of time, hey, make a list of your best or favorite live albums or
Yeah.
top 10.
What's the live one you like, David?
So it's the Alive album by Meshuggah.
Oh shit, they're having a live album too.
They have I think 3 live albums.
But it's called Alive because Kiss is originally made famous the Alive, Kiss
Right,
Alive.
right, Kiss Alive, yeah.
And mostly Kiss studio albums aren't that
That
good.
was in the 70s,
Like
wasn't
I don't know why, they just didn't have any magic to them really. But when you hear the live albums, those are the ones that got popular. They blew them up. Like Kiss, everybody loves listening to the Kiss live stuff.
So I can't speak
Yeah.
from Meshuggah, but I
it was
gotta
called
believe a live album in that genre has got to be kind of weird. Because I know, like, for example, if Periphery were going to do a live album, it's basically them just playing note for note what's on the record with the backing tracks from the record.
Right.
So it's like basically just the record again.
Yeah, you're just listening to the record again.
You know,
and it sounds
where
a
you
little
listen
different.
to Guns, for example, like Slash is playing totally different solos.
Oh
like,
yeah,
half the time.
He
Like,
definitely improvs. Is that something cool about the other live album too? Is it like improv more?
Now, do you mean live album like playing live in front of a crowd or a live tracking album?
like live on stage.
Live playing in front of a crowd. Yeah,
Okay.
generally, yeah.
Now the Meshuggah album for Alive
was
they,
just tracked live. Or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
okay.
I mean they're
That's also awesome.
That's
they're
also very
they're
cool.
playing like what they would in the studio, but of course it's jazzed up to be live.
Right,
Like
okay.
to be more entertaining, like a different solo, like you said. They're not
Right.
they're not playing everything note for note. Like
Exactly.
Oh, so it's like a studio live album where they go in and play like we're
So
going
they
to do
probably,
these 4 songs.
Yeah, they
or
probably
whatever.
videoed it and fucking
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the studio.
yeah.
Like you see that all the time now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I like it because it says a lot to their talent because they're doing it in one take. That's the way basically music had to be recorded. You know, before DAWs came
Yep.
to be
On tape.
which was, the first one was Pro Tools, I believe. Yeah, so they were all on tape and they had to do in one take, and everybody's in the room together doing it. Maybe the exception is vocals. I'm not sure. I think they maybe did vocals separate, but
I don't know a lot
maybe
about
early they did them all together, but.
I don't know a lot about that era.
Me neither, man.
Technically,
I'm
at
glad
least.
we're out of there. That's where the
Yeah.
era where you had to be picked by some fat rich dude who would tell you that you're good, and tell other bands that weren't good. They tell them they were good too. Yeah.
Gatekeepers.
Gatekeepers. That's it. The era of the gatekeepers is past. We now hold the power.
We can now record something right now and put it on Spotify today.
Yep. That's crazy. Well, it'll take a 7-day period or whatever, but yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. We can do it all on our own.
And it
now.
could be complete bullshit.
Yeah,
You and I
and
can
we
just sit here and
monetize it.
scream really loud. I'll put a
And-
drum beat under it. We'll upload
Yeah,
it.
and we're on full
Lord.
monetization of it. We get completely 100% of the royalties
Yeah.
from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
I don't think we'd expect too much from that. But
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that the fact that the power is in our hands, we
Yeah.
don't have to deal with these people anymore
Right.
and tell us how to make our music. You know, I think this is the ultimate era for musicians. I think the problem maybe is the way people get to music is still kind of sorting itself out. There's people, it's a transfer, or right now people are switching to streaming. CDs are going to become obsolete, but also records are coming back. What? Doesn't make any sense, you know?
I like when people complain about how they're not making any money because streaming doesn't pay and they have like 12 streams.
Right. Well, yeah, you're not going to
like,
make any
we'll
money
do,
if you got 12 listeners anyway.
You think you're getting $10 a stream? Like,
right.
what are you thinking?
Yep.
That's still $120.
But I like the idea too. I mean, obviously it's very expensive, but having vinyl made, I mean, you know, that's a good little profit margin. I think. I think you can get it down to like
Yes.
$10 a vinyl if you pay,
Oh, really?
if you
That
buy
low?
enough.
You have to buy like 1,000.
Yeah, you have to
though,
buy
don't you?
enough.
Like,
Yeah, but if in that case you're making $10 on every vinyl you sell,
you
you
sell
have
for
to have
20,
a fan
yeah.
base though. You can't just buy all that stuff and expect to sell it. You know, based
Yeah, for
on
those
your
specialty things, like if you have a leather jacket or something, you have to buy much smaller quantities.
right. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. But you know what's cool about like stuff like that? If you're doing a specialty thing and a limited thing, you can make raffles. You can make more money out of it than just what you would if you just sold it. So you can do a raffle. You can do all kinds of promos and giveaways and stuff like that. Bundles is something I'm interested in getting. Like people can buy a shirt and a CD. We're not going to be.
Yeah, that's how we have all our stuff set up.
That's very cool. What is it through Printful? Is that how you set that up?
Yeah, we just do it at shows.
Okay. Oh, okay. You have it at shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I want to be able to get our website with bundles though, so people can pre-order. By the next album, I want to be more on top of our release game. But that's okay. I'm glad we got this release. This coming out January 4th. Everybody, get it. Nice.
You guys are playing on the 3rd too, right?
Yeah, we're playing on the 3rd, which
Here's
would be
a
nice
question for you that I noticed. Why is it coming out on a Saturday when music's usually released on a Friday?
It's a number preference.
They wanted the date.
It's going to be 1/4/20.
Oh, okay.
So, and the nice thing is we are playing on that Friday, and we're going to basically shout it out from the stage. You know, whoever's there, obviously we're going to tell them that, hey, our album just dropped at midnight, and we'll be the last band playing, and we'll be wrapping up right around midnight. So it's kind of a cool, I wouldn't call it a release party or anything, because we're going to have one of those eventually. But it's just kind of cool how it worked out. And we got this gig through Buck had a touring national act drop out on him at the last minute, and then when they dropped out, all the supporting acts dropped out. So we're like, shit. Well,
that's your best date for a release party, though. That's literally the day of the release.
It kind of, yeah. The midnight drops up right after the show is perfect. So, and it's not a Friday, but I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to us in our setup, right now. Now we've become a major artist and people are looking for us, they'll look on Friday, but no big deal. So yeah, man, since we're gonna start the year off right, I'm ready for that one. David, you ready?
Hell yeah, man. I've been waiting to drop this album and have everyone just listen, share it to everyone since basically since I tracked the drums last year.
It's been so long, dude. Yeah, last year, almost a whole year ago.
That was summer.
February or something like that. Maybe
no, it was July.
You're right.
No, I tracked them July 2018.
Right before you left for BMW school.
Yep,
that's right. Yep. Hell yeah. Well, I'm ready. It's weird bottling in for so long, but
yeah, it's been a long road.
Yep. Longer for me and Dallas. We've been doing this kind of, those 3 songs we did originally,
Oh yeah.
Think about that. Like that's been a long. When I first met him, he recorded our first 3-song EP. Yeah. So now we're all the way to here.
And 3 of those were on here. So.
And what songs were those?
It was
Death Proof, Love Lies,
and Speed.
Speed.
Yeah. Well, those are the first 3 ones. Yeah. I didn't have Prep and Barium written. The band wasn't even Prep and Barium. It was Global Menace or something. I forget. Yeah, it was Global Menace. It was Global Ascension.
Yeah,
and then it was
I don't remember that I knew the name, but yeah, it wasn't Prep and Barium.
Dude, I remember the first time we ever recorded together was the It's So Easy recording.
Colton,
and I remember how fun that was, man. That's
I had to replay the bass part at the beginning.
Yeah. That was Speed. No, that was It's So Easy.
And Speed, I think. Both of them.
Doesn't surprise me.
I think both of them.
Doesn't surprise me. But anyways.
Well, because it was a cool little thing, but it was played too weak.
Well. Yeah, it wasn't executed
so it wasn't. It sounded kind of pitiful.
Basses, dude. Learning just from this past weekend, I won't talk too much about it, but playing bass is actually interesting as far as how you get the sound to come out.
Yeah, there's one thing that
David was playing a bunch of bass last night too.
There's one thing that I've heard every producer and engineer say, and that's you have to play harder. Yes. How hard are you playing? Play harder. Yeah. How hard are you playing? Play harder. I'm hitting as hard as I can. Hit harder. Like you have to hit it really, really hard for it to sound super fat and good.
I guess that's how a drummer can become a bassist.
Right. You know how to
already hitting stuff.
Yeah.
And
same thing with drums.
You heard me slanging the strings last night.
Yeah. He was fucking acoustic bass, and he picked up the bass at the playroom. I think you were playing a little bit too.
No, I was playing the one at your apartment.
It was the acoustic one.
The new one.
That's cool. It was fun. We just jammed out acoustic.
No, it was the electric one too.
Oh, the electric one there?
The 2 weeks prior to that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when I made
that one? Yeah,
those 3 bass lines.
Yeah, that brand new bass we
already got new songs coming out
attached to it. Yeah,
we already got
the Firebird
2 or 3 new songs.
Starting with the bass.
Thunderbird?
Yeah, the Thunderbird. Yeah, starting with bass is what our songs are starting with now. David wrote 3 songs.
I'm not gonna start with bass.
Dude, so few songs that are good start with bass.
Yeah, actually, there's Tool songs.
Tool songs are cool. The one that comes to my mind is always the Gun song. I can't think of it. Is it Right Next Door to Hell?
Oh yeah, that's a great one. It's so easy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right. That bass tone still kind of sounds weak to me though.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird
tone. It's really thin.
Where
all of his stuff on Use Your Illusion is so fat.
It's interesting.
Now, a song that I do like that starts with bass is Ghost Walking by Lamb of God.
Oh, sweet. Ghost Walking. I think I know that one.
And then it drops into.
I think I know that one. I'm trying to think of what it sounds like.
Sick ass opening riff. I remember Trey, when he was at the Playroom with us, he asked me to play it. I was like, hell yeah, I know that song.
Yeah. That's cool as hell.
That's awesome. Any final closing thoughts here, my fellows?
No, I think that's it. We're going to go do a little band practice ourselves while David's still here before he drives home. And what do you got? You got band practice today? No, you guys
Yep.
are off for the weekend?
Final audition for keyboard player, and then
Oh,
we're working
cool.
on the new original a little bit, and then we're going to run a couple gun songs. And we're coming back here to track some stuff for the single, and then we're done.
Nice. Vocal stuff?
Possibly, mostly bass and Daryl's guitar tracks. I did all mine the other day. I'll show you them real quick in a minute.
All right. Right on.
All right,
everybody.
my brothers.
David, thanks for being here, buddy. This is fun. We'll get you back on again. We'll do
man.
some of those games and stuff. It'll be fun.
That's gonna be super fun. We got to get we got to have a double book guest.
Yes.
And do one of those.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That way we have multiple inputs.
do it like that metal show. That'd be the whole show. Will be a top.
Right, right. And video, man. I can't wait.
That's gonna be super fun. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Oh, hit the wrong thing. Now we'll see you next week.